Hello, welcome again. Today I'm going to explain how the Illuminati secret celebrity murder and cloning centers explain. Have you ever noticed that sometimes certain celebrities seems ever so slightly off? Maybe it's an errant beauty mark, or the fact that the eyelids have begun to blink sideways. You can feel in your heart that something's just not right. That's because your darling idol is dead. Don't worry, thought, because before they were killed, your favorite celebrity was cloned, which means that, unlike Paul McCartney, was simply replaced with a look-alike. Countless incarnation of your darling departure could be working among us for centuries to come. But how do we know this? Why would anyone let this happen? And am I okay? As far as the first two are concerned, a man named Donald Marshall has the answers. The latter is anyone's guess. Queen Elizabeth, the clone-loving bitch, as he revealed on Facebook in 2011, Donald Marshall, a clone himself, is an otherwise normal guy who had the bad luck of finding himself in a so-called cloning station run by Queen Elizabeth. When Marshall was born, his family was already living in cloning center. Yet in all his writings and interviews, he never specifies exactly why his family lived in this clandestine Illuminati palace in the first place. Details. Still, Marshall's discussions on the matter have been extensive. A Google search for Donald Marshall cloning brings up about 23,000 different results, many of which weren't even writes by Marshall himself. Nearly every clone-related conspiracy blog out there discussed him or his tale, and it is hard to find a video that makes mention of celebrity cloning without alluding to some aspect of the Donald Marshall canon. The basic of his story, which do occasionally shift, goes something like this. During his time at the cloning station, Marshall discovered that the entire operation is run by a collective consisting of the Freemasons, a group called the Vril Society, and of course, Scientologists. This secret society supergroup is what we know today as the ever-elusive Illuminati. Members of the Illuminati, which naturally include all the G20 world leaders, typically meet in subterranean bunkers, the very same bunkers that, according to Marshall, house what has become a highly lucrative network of celebrity cloning firms. The cloning part of the operation did not actually start until sometime after World War II, at which point, and as Marshall explained in his Facebook post, the political people started bringing movie stars and musicians there to hang around with them. They can control who remembers the cloning facility and who will remain obvious, even though not remembering still damages you. Some of these clones are used for mere entertainment value. Gladiator style wrestling boots, sexually perversions, Illuminati ritual sacrifices, what have you. Others are kept and precautionary measures should be clones original ever needs a new liver. If you saw 2005 sci-fi flick The Ice Lounge, you already know exactly what am I talking about, because in a feat of hubris, the island was produced by none other than Illuminati themselves. Some she fakes being nice to, some she's terrible to, cutting them with the swords, while they scream. The decent people that are there against their will are afraid to say anything against them. Most have their children there as a kind of hostage to be torn apart if they even think of informing anyone. But as they have been torturing my terrible enemy. I will tell all. Vladimir Putin loves to put the fear of the torture and death into people, but is essentially a cowardly pervert himself. Most of the famous people are ashamed to speak or be seen by me there very much, as they are ashamed of and disgusting gatherings. I'm a decent person, and I will not participate in these acts. So, they use me as an example and torture me for my being a good person. Just like with twins or real dolls, if you torture a person's clone, the original will feel it and may even undergo physical damage. Each new clone decreases your mental capacity as well as soul. The more clones made, the easier that person is to hurt or subdue. Two of Queen Elizabeth's favorite pastimes. And as all the pros know, if you really want to keep someone under your thumb, all you have to do is kill the original copy. Clones are notoriously obedient, which apparently came in handy when you need them to churn out his singer after his singer. Don't take my word for it. Just ask Avril's clone or any of the other high-profile clones below. Today I'm gonna give you 3 names of your favorite singers in the world. They have died. Maybe you weren't aware that they have died already. The first one on my list is Britney Spears. Britney Spears is dead. That is assuming the now defunct, but accessible here, website BritneyIsDead.com is not lying to us. Because back in 1998, right before dropping the now classic rock opera Baby One More Time, Britney and Justin Timberlake got into a particularly nasty car accident that resulted in several bans on Justin's part, and unfortunately the case of disputation on Britney. Justin is still in coma. His clone roams free. Because pop stars must have AIDS, the label was forced to find a Britney Spears stand in. This is where the stories began to diverge. BritneyIsDead.com claims that the label's producers went to the mall and found a young boy look-alike named Britney Shears. Please listen carefully. Producers went to the mall and found a young look-alike named Britney Shears. This seems unlikely and leaves us with only one possibility. Donald Marshall was right. Over the years, plenty of Britney clones have come and gone, which would explain her many emotional ups and downs. According to Marshall, though, at any given time, there are at least 2 to 5 backup clones wait underground for their turn in the spotlights. Like any clone, the blind copies are not at all happy with their lots in life. So in 2009, Break the Ice, one of the songs written for Britney by Donald Marshall during his time as a pop clone lyricist, she managed to sneak in some hints at the reality of her situation. This included an accompanying animated video that depicts her blowing up an actually cloning center. And according to Marshall, the tubes detailed in the video look exactly like the real tubes in the cloning center. Why Queen Elizabeth and the rest of her Illuminati cohorts would allow a menial clone to expose the secrets of the Elkan operation, however, remains a mystery. The second on my list today is Eminem. There have long been rumors that Eminem checked himself into rehab after a drug overdose in 2005. He even said a few years ago that he nearly died. At one point, he used the word nearly, of course, because when one is survived by innumerable copies of one's former self, one can never really be dead. When Slim Shady reached worldwide phenom status in the late 90s, the Illuminati approached him, as they do with all up-and-coming superstars, to see how willing he will be to join their gang of ultra-powerful miscreants. Shady foolishly declined and was thus sent off to meet his demise in a fatal car crash. Or, as far as the rest of the world was concerned, Eminem went to rehab. Of course, no clone is perfect. The video below, which is available for download here, goes so far as to point out the vocal disparities between the original Eminem and his counterpart. Today on my list, the third is Mila Silas. Back in 2010, as with all incurable rebellious teen sensations, Disney had Miley Cyrus killed and dumped her remains in the California desert. There are two different possible reasons for this. One theory states that in the month before her accident, Miley leaked nudes, smoked salvia, and wrote in a song that she was hot, which is to say, Miley Cyrus had become a national disgrace. To save its brand, Disney was left with only one option: murder. The other theory alleged that Miley Cyrus refused the sexual advances of the various Disney executives, her father included, after realizing that Miley intended to remain steadfast in her decision not to partake her in their blood orgies. A Disney higher-up beat her up, left her for dead, and brought in the clones. The Miley Cyrus conspiracies actually go even deeper than the rest. Either way, whatever did replace, end up replacing. Miley is far more malicious than your typical clone. This Miley is mean. So, does that mean every celebrity we see is actually a clone suffering under Queen Elizabeth Barbara's rule? Of course not. Not even the Queen Mother has the capacity to make that many celebrity doubles. But almost celebrities, Illuminati clones, almost certainly yes. Honorable mentions: those who have not yet been killed and replaced by clones, but it's only a matter of time. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that next time I will continue to share with you about the different news all over the world, from Bollywood to Hollywood, about the musicians, politicians, and businessmen. Those you see, they're still alive, but they have already killed with Illuminatis. But we still see their cloning. Don't forget to share this video to others and hit subscribe. Thank you.